A colossal building stands in seclusion on the top of a hill overlooking the town of Danvers, Massachusetts. It's a place of misery, wrapped in a history of insanity, abuse, and death. Danvers Mental Hospital served as the inspiration for the infamous Arkham Asylum in the writings of H.P. Lovecraft, master of the macabre, and it's easy to understand why. Everything about this building's imposing exterior brings the worst images to mind. From its high-angled roofs and Gothic architecture, to the blood-red brick of its face, Danvers resembles a monstrous castle from the early horror films. There is a dark history that surrounds the asylum that many are unaware of. The town of Danvers was formerly Salem Village, and it was here where the Salem witch trials began in 1692. 29 men and women were condemned to death for suspicion of practicing witchcraft and consorting with the devil. Danvers Asylum is situated atop Hathorne Hill, built in the exact spot where Judge Jonathan Hathorne, the most fanatical judge from the witch trials, resided. The asylum was built over a 4-year span from 1874 to 1878. The complex is enormous, stretching nearly a mile in length. From high above, the building appears to be shaped like a giant stone bat. But there was no malice in the building's design. In fact, quite the opposite is true. Initially, Danvers was designed to be a caregiving institution whose main objective was to completely rehabilitate the mentally ill into functioning members of society. Danvers, like many institutions of its time around the nation, were based off of the Kirkbride plan. The staggered design served to provide maximum amount of light and ventilation for all its patients. The worst patients were housed in the A and J wings located at the far ends of the building. This kept them as far from the central administration hub as possible, and it served to keep them from disrupting the less dangerous who resided in the successive wings. Thomas Kirkbride was a devoted doctor and psychiatrist who developed an entire system for the construction of such hospitals, as well as the care and treatment of the mentally ill. He was an advocate of moral treatment and social commitment to the insane, a prominent authority on mental health care, and a significant influence in the field during the latter half of the 19th century. For several decades, Danvers was a leader in humane treatment of its patients, but in later years became synonymous with everything that was wrong with the medical treatment of the mentally ill. While Danvers had been designed for a maximum capacity not to exceed 650, over 2,600 patients were reported crammed within its walls. They filled the dark attics of the institution and lined the basement corridors. And while the number of patients steadily increased, the number of employees did not. As conditions deteriorated, patients were deprived of proper care and privacy. Psychosurgery was soon put into effect. Lobotomies were performed in order to make some of the patients more docile. This process consisted of inserting large needles into the brain, severing a portion of the frontal lobe. This practice was used to treat everything, from criminality to chronic depression. Some recipients of the surgery died from the procedure. Those who survived the treatment were left devoid of personality or rendered mere vegetables. Other torturous medical practices, such as hydrotherapy and electric shock therapy, had been used at the facility to treat a variety of conditions ranging from schizophrenia to depression. Restraining patients to beds or chairs became standard procedure. Abuse and neglect were commonplace in this pit of despair. Less and less were the patients actually treated for their illnesses. Rather, the facility became little more than a prison, or worse, a place to die. Danvers had become the epitome of everything that it had originally stood against. Danvers Insane Asylum finally closed its doors in 1992 for numerous human rights violations, including allegations of overcrowding, abuse, and neglect. As an epitaph to horrible conditions at Danvers Asylum, 2 cemeteries are situated on the property, with over 768 nameless graves. The stones are small, each marked only by a number, a solemn reminder of how these people had been treated during their lives. Do the souls of deceased patients still take up residence within the former asylum, condemned to walk the dark corridors in eternal misery and insanity? Are remnants of past tragedies echoing throughout its crumbling walls? Or is Danvers Mental Asylum just another empty building as forgotten and neglected as those who once resided there? With its imposing features and dark history, it's easy to imagine how wild rumors surface. The years of abandonment have made the interior of this mammoth building treacherous, but the Scared Crew offers you one last look inside as they explore the tattered remnants of Danvers Mental Asylum.
Given the things I've heard about Danvers and read about Danvers online, we just couldn't pass up the chance to investigate it ourselves.
I think there's something mysterious about former mental institutions and psychiatric establishments. The draw being that since it's a place that has so many people who are sad, angry, and who don't know why, and who are just unnerved mentally, a lot of that has to stay behind.
Get across America, baby!
Danvers, baby, Danvers. This might be the last footage they find of us.
Now, Danvers, Massachusetts is a good 4 hours away from Staten Island. So we decided when we got there to get a hotel room so we could rest up and plan for the long night ahead.
One of the things that I really like about urban exploration is that we don't need psychics and we don't need a whole lot of equipment. This is paranormal investigation at its most basic. All we need is our cameras and our wits.
Why Danvers? I would have to say the history and the rumors. I mean, H.P. Lovecraft didn't write about Disney World, he wrote about Danvers.
Once we got inside, we found the old gym and set up home base.
We are here at Danvers State Mental Asylum. It's been a long night. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning right now, and we're just getting started. It's been a long trip up here, so right now we've just established home base. We have our equipment set up and we're ready to roll. We've divided into teams, and we're now going to explore the facility.
Now don't be fooled. This is not like your average paranormal investigation. This is urban exploration.
The danger is real. There's so much you have to watch out for. There's the homeless, there's holes in the floor, unsafe buildings.
And it's tough. We have to be prepared to be walking around all night with 50-pound packs on our back, sometimes in inclement weather.
Yeah, it's hard, but we've done this a million times. I mean, we're totally up for the challenge.
up here, we were lucky enough to meet Matt and Molly, who know this place much better than we do. So they've gotten us inside, and they're going to show us around for a bit until we split off on our own. But right now we're taking a tour with, you know, people who know the place better than we do, so to be able to show us the interesting spots.
This was the McDonald Library. Now it's more of a clothing dump, like I said before.
Matt and Molly showed me some extremely interesting places.
Notice at the front of the building's right here. That's actually was the main entrance to the hospital right there.
This place, all boarded up, real private, cozy. Whatever it is though, we're in here, we can't see anything outside. We turn these lights off, it'd be absolute darkness.
The administrative building was huge and in relatively good shape, especially when compared to the rest of Danvers.
It's some nice files they left for us.
I say they contain the official court documents. Here's one from 1967, July 12th, 1967. Accounts payable documents.
There were many documents left behind that seemed important. I wonder why they left them.
Just flip through here. Still archives. It's actually Denver State Hospital payroll down here. In 1968 to 1979, there's a pay stub in here for you. There's also personal effects records for patients that they brought into the hospital.
We are hearing sounds and constantly waiting. Did you just get that?
I had Matt and Molly with me, which made it a lot easier. Without them, it would have been much, much scarier.
Now this time, besides our digital cameras, I had also brought with us an EMF detector. Now this was the first investigation I had used one, so for me it was a little bit of field training for the equipment. Now even though Danvers was an urban exploration mission, we always have our eyes peeled for paranormal evidence. Now, since we knew for a fact that there was no electricity working in Danvers, if I found any EMF signatures, that would be something to check into.
I'll follow you. Let's stay on this floor until we have to change floors. Now this section they were telling us is the men's section where all the male patients were kept and where they lived and spent their days.
We made it here, and this place looks, like an institution. It's just that it's insanely big. It's just scary. Like it looks like it was made for a movie.
It seemed like everywhere we went, the floor was ready to fall in or the roof was ready to collapse. It was really, really scary being in there.
Look at that, the whole floor caved in.
As usual, these places are in really advanced stages of decay. We have to be really careful.
And this is just ready to come down. You jumped up and grabbed that.
Yeah, we'd have an entire ceiling upon us. Alright, we're gonna attempt to not fall through any floors. There's a lot of decay and ruin in this section of the place, as I mentioned, most of it. It's really old. And so far that's it.
All right, one of the really spooky things about Danvers is that all the windows, and pretty much all the windows on all the floors have been boarded up. So inside, it's completely black. Without our powerful flashlights, we wouldn't be able to see an inch in front of our faces. And that's one of the dangers that we're dealing with tonight.
Above your head, be careful.
as you can see. In this room, the last several floors have collapsed on top of each other, all the way down to the first floor. I can't believe how bad this is. Almost every room here says the floors have collapsed. So we got to be really careful, Sean. Any kind of rooms that we go into.
Yeah.
The ceiling is falling apart. There's holes all over the floor. The walls is like the bands ripping off, and you have graffitis all over it, like psycho stuff. I can't even breathe from the dust and from the asbestos. This place really spooky, creepy, disgusting.
Okay, I'll tell you what. For right now, we're gonna meet right back here. You go down that way, I'll go down this way, okay?
Mm-hmm. How long can it be? Each one by itself?
As long as it takes, brother.
Huh?
As long as it takes. As creepy as Danvers was abandoned, from what I heard about it, I think the place would have been a lot more scary while it was in operation.
J2 to J3. It's rumored that section J and A are where the most dangerous, the craziest of the crazies were put, which was at the extreme ends of the facility so that they didn't have too much contact with the rest of the people.
That's fucking odd. Won't even move.
During our missions, each team used different colored chalk to mark our way.
This is so when we have to run screaming from something, we know which way we're going and don't get lost. Do you feel warmth coming somewhere from like an oven? Like, you know when you turn the oven on?
Yeah.
Or heat from a building? I just felt that. Where's that heat coming from?
Now, I can't explain it, but there were certain sections that Jay and I walked through where I was feeling this heat.
I felt that heat too, but I had no idea where it was coming from.
Now, there's nothing unusual about a pocket of heat in the room, but when it seems to be coming from the vents and stopping and starting seemingly with no explanation, that's what I found kind of unnerving.
Do you feel that heat again? Do you smell it? What have we got?
Front desk.
I feel that heat again. Is the heat still active through these vents?
No.
So what is that? I can't describe where, but it feels like in the winter when you turn on the heat and you get that toasty smell. Every couple 100 feet, we come through a patch of it.
Now, the only reason I even bring it up is because we felt it in multiple places on multiple floors. So it's not like it happened once or I was tired or I was overheated. It seemed to be following us.
Sean and I had separated, but we were still on the same floor within earshot of each other, just on opposite ends of the hall.
This place is really scary because I have no idea where I am, even where I'm supposed to go, where every hallway leads. So, the floors are very unsteady.
This was the furthest away from the actual administration building. This in the J ward. That's where they kept the worst patients.
It's like a nightmare, you know. I mean, it's total chaos. Ceiling is giving up. See the floor? All asbestos and tiles coming down. Very scary to walk. We could die.
You know, some people might be saying, oh, we're being a bit over dramatic. But when you're doing an urban exploration, you know, death is really only a rusty nail or a rotten floor away.
Actually, you know what? I'll go down, you go up.
Oh man, give me that shit.
Why?
I want to be myself, man.
Yo, man, it's fucking creepy shit, man. Scared fucking shit. I could die up there.
Alright, we'll stay together for now. Maybe we'll try to split off a little later.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna bust on him, but I could see how Sean didn't want to go off on his own. Danvers is pretty dangerous, and it's easy to get scared.
This is really creepy down here, Sean. I'm not afraid to say. I'll tell you what, you walk down this side of the fence, I'll walk down this side of the fence, right?
Oh fuck.
What? Well, I'm right next to you, man.
Okay.
There's a fence that spans almost the entire length of the basement, and it was used to separate patients from workers during the years of massive overcrowding.
See, so if anything, there's a break in the fence right here, so that's cool. They just locked everything off, man. You know, that makes this place whole much more creepy. You go everywhere and there's a metal chain or a fence or a gate that's locked. We can get in and go down there. Guess this was the maintenance area maybe or something. I see a bunch of old TVs kicked in, smashed in.
It's all fungus all over, slippery and wet.
That's nasty. It's just all water damage down here now. There's all water all over the floor. Oh. This is interesting. Okay, so there's tons of boxes like this. See all this stuff, Sean? Civil defense. The survival ration cracker. This is all civil defense stuff. Like this was like a fallout shelter.
Safety is paramount during urban exploration. It's really important to have walkie-talkies and stay in contact with your group.
What? You see something?
And the place was as quiet as a tomb. It seemed to absorb the sound. I mean, everywhere else we went, there was some type of ambient noise or background noise, and here there wasn't even an echo.
The walkie-talkies we had purchased just before the shoot didn't work as well as we thought they would. So essentially, Jay and I were out of touch with the rest of the crew for most of the night.
Where are we? The third floor?
Yeah, we have to go down now. And here we've got the marker, Dormitory E, which I don't know if that means we're in the wrong place.
Looks like fucking bad news in that, man.
Where's that air coming from?
The colors in there are insane.
A lot of pinks and a lot of teals. Supposedly these colors are supposed to keep people calm.
Many of the walls in Danvers were painted a color known as Baker's pink, which was actually later proven to contribute to the patient's insanity.
Textbooks, science books, reference books. These are older than we are.
Applied Psychology by Bernard C. Ewer. And there's a movie poster here for Harper Valley PTA. Yep, we're in a mental asylum, alright? I wonder if these things were supposed to antagonize or make the patients feel better. I can't tell which.
Now, it had been hours since we'd seen anyone.
Into the tunnels of death. They're gonna find you falling in a ditch.
I always push the limits, baby.
Motherfucker, it's moving.
Do you want me to hang your camera down?
The ladder into the tunnels was small, but it was rusty, unstable, and a fall could easily break a bone.
Be careful, Greg. Chris, it's not a long ladder, but Chris is going down a very shaky ladder. Look at that. Look at that, he made it.
The tunnels were vast, never ending.
This place is fucking psycho bullshit. This place is fucking psycho bullshit.
Dirt, grime, mud, who knows what else? Those tunnels were definitely hazardous to our health. We just don't know how hazardous.
Careful, Sean. Go work, Greg. Okay, I'm all alone now. I don't like this at all. Back to the group before I get scared.
No way in hell was I going in those tunnels alone.
Oh, this shit, man. He couldn't die.
We could die here. Don't jinx us, Sean. Knock on broken wood.
The slightest wrong move, and that staircase could have caved in on us.
Walking around Danvers was like looking into an infinity mirror. Every corner that we turned looked exactly the same as the last.
Lead away.
We're coming down, we're downstairs, like we're going towards the tunnels. There's a door there. Oh, the stench down is horrible.
Why is it like this? Oh, look at that, the fuzz on the door.
It's so crystallized up there. Look at the top.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is fucking horrible. Brian and Jay are in the tunnels. Who else is down here?
Whoa.
Greg, where are you? This is Jay.
Oh. Sick. Jay, look some of this.
Okay, we're down in the basement.
Fucking white Christmas.
With snow cones.
This can't be healthy. Oh, an old fallout shelter sign.
I like how they don't care what we're doing. They don't ask us where we are.
Now, the tunnels we found a little hard to navigate, mainly because one tunnel looked like another. However, that was no different from the building above, where one wing looked like another. These tunnels were used for a variety of purposes, some of them being steam tunnels to carry heat between building to building, transportation between building to building, oftentimes in winter. Being able to get from one location to another without having to trudge through the snow is advantageous.
Avoid creating dust, cancer, and lung disease. Oh, that's great.
Brian and Jay are in the tunnels. Who else is down here? Greg, where are you? This is Jay.
Yeah, it was sort of scary because I just kept expecting one of those plastic arms to reach out and grab one of us.
Guys, who's here? Who's here? Who is down in the tunnels? Who's in the tunnels?
Dude, yeah, we got to split up. We got 3 cameras filming the same exact thing.
After leaving the tunnels, well, I split from Greg and Sean and explored Danvers a bit on my own.
Chris kept pushing us to go out on our own. Not me. Not in that place.
This used to be a patient's room for the male patients. These are actual pictures hung out by patients here. I'm gonna try to get the entire wall for you.
Looking at the collage was kind of like a trip into the mind of the insane. It was more than a little disturbing.
Long, scary hallways. I love these things.
I must admit, at some points in Danvers, I was kind of scared. I never felt comfortable in the place because I never really knew where I was, and I never had my bearings straight.
Okay, hey guys, are they a gym? Is it on the floor we lost you guys on? Or is it up one, down one? Where is it?
We are right now in Upper C in the stairwell at the end of Upper C.
Being with Sean was like being alone. He was too scared to be of much help.
It's okay, Sean, we'll be okay.
Hello?
Chris, where you at?
Hello?
This is like
You're going in a circle, man.
What's that?
You're going in a circle.
I'm not going to say.
What the fuck they say, man?
Well, listen, no, they're not answering, they can't hear me. If you have an idea, please tell me it. We just came through here, though.
A lot of good a map does you when you don't even know where you are in the first place.
See, look, right now we are right in C. We get to D, then over to the A. Not too complex, but which way is up, which way is down, I don't know.
Oh shit.
We often find ourselves isolated and alone in these dangerous places.
I'll be totally honest. The whole time I was alone in Danvers, I was lost. And when you're by yourself in one of these places, your mind can really start to play tricks on you. And every noise, no matter how insignificant, can start to be scary after a while.
Can't see anything in front of me. I keep hearing noises coming from down here, man. I would be totally lying if I told you this place wasn't scary.
When Sean and I were lost, we were totally disoriented. We didn't know where home base was. We didn't know where the other team was. We were on our own and totally lost.
So D's this way, okay? So D's this way. This looks like it might lead somewhere.
What is this shit, man? Alright, man, go back, man.
Oh boy. You can turn off your camera if you want. Okay, guys, Homeland Answer Us. We're trying to get to the gym. What a shitty sense of direction.
It's like a big puzzle. You have to go, you know how you're going, how you're coming back. It could easily get lost here. Because like, you know, there's no like certain hallways or big hallways. It's everything coming together. You could go one place, get out the other place, and you go in a circle, you can't get out. Easily lost.
Finally, we found our way out of the tunnels. And who did we run into? Greg and Sean.
There's somebody there.
Hey, good. I'm glad you found someone who might know how to get us to the gym. Where the hell's the gym? Over there?
Just when Sean and I were about to start panicking, luckily, we run into Jay and Brian coming out of the tunnels.
Okay, as you can tell, Sean and I have found Brian, Jay, and Molly, so we got a way to get back to home base and all that stuff.
I'm not hearing any calls on the radio. No one was answering my calls on the radio. I'm just gonna walk around till I find somebody, and I'm nervous down here, but I'm not gonna panic or anything. This is a big place, and it's easy to get lost and turned around. I must have walked the same area 5 or 6 times, and now I just gotta find everybody else. That's what I'm trying to do now.
Well, I figured if I wandered around long enough, I'd eventually run into somebody. And luckily, I did.
Sean, that you? All right. All right, man.
Final thoughts on Danvers.
Danvers Mental Asylum was big. It was quite an adventure, from tunnels to towers and lots of different wings that really kind of resembled each other, so it was easy to get turned around.
Oh my God, I'm sure everybody else said I got lost myself.
Every time you turned a corner or went into a new hallway, it looked just like the last hallway you came from.
Maybe somebody could spend years in here, nobody will find out anything about it.
One thing's, I feel dubious about all the places we visit. You hear some noises, you don't know what they are, can't explain them.
I was a little scared, not so much of ghosts or anything else, but I was scared of getting too turned around so that I couldn't find my way back here.
I'm just more scared of falling down and no one knowing where I am because I can't describe where I am. I'm in the room with the chipped paint and the broken pipe.
It's like a death trap for anybody to get here.
It's falling apart. It's very dark even in the daytime because everything's boarded up.
I mean, the thing is that, like in the other places we went to, the windows were kicked out, so it's like there was some type of ventilation regardless of how disgusting it was, but...
Even with the mask, I can't breathe. I feel like my mouth is all chemicals and I can't even breathe.
We've been to worse places where the danger was a lot more imminent.
And the fact that, we didn't know anything before coming to this place, it shows something for us anyway.
I'm glad we came. We definitely had to check it out. It's a beautiful building.
The architecture is very Gothic. It's very beautiful on the outside.
And its future's uncertain, but I'm glad we got in it and got to look around before it's not here any longer.
I would hate to see it be turned into like an apartment complex or something, where they tear it down. Like they're supposed to tear down some of the wings, supposedly. That would suck.
Something else. Change, progress, seems to affect everything. But I will say that It's good to see such a beautiful building such as Danvers and the whole Kirkbride architecture system. I'm glad they kept it, they restored it, and at least now people can see it and appreciate it for its beauty, if not for its history. So it's been 3 years since we've been here. It looks like Danvers has made a full recovery from insane asylum, mental institution, to condominiums.